Hi, this is W0TM, also known as Vodum. W0TM happens to be my ham radio call letters. This is a very old cop ambush story. A very old cop ambush story, one of the first. And I'm sure, or I would expect, one that none of you have ever heard before, but I can attest to its accuracy long before the internet. So you'd have to go back to the archives of Chicago newspapers to find it, but it's there. Anyway, what happened back in the 70s? I can't give you an exact date. I don't have it here. I don't have a copy of it. But anyway, the police thought they were ambushing, call it ambush, arresting, catching, shooting, whatever, the top echelon, all the major players in the Chicago Black Panthers. They were all meeting in a basement room that had it was all enclosed and had window wells all the way around it. Just a perfect setup, so the police thought. Well, turned out the Black Panthers had been tipped off, I guess, so the story went, and the police got ambushed. Uh, Firing started, lights went out, melees happened. A couple Black Panthers apparently did get shot, but more policemen got shot. And in the melee, some of the Black Panthers got arrested, but as the story goes, somewhere between 2 and 4, they just described them as young, thin, clean-cut Black Panthers managed to get away. And they also somehow took 4 policemen with them, captured them. Later on, policemen were found. They had been shot execution style, hands tied behind their back, 22 slug right in the back of the head, just like the mafia does it. Apparently the Black Panthers, or at least they thought it was, they had no evidence, or beyond that. There were descriptions given of the people, the Black Panthers that escaped, and one of them, I won't give you any names because I'd like to still be here tomorrow. One of them, his last name began with the letter O at the time, so they said. As I say, this particular individual, clean cut, well spoken, so on and so forth, got away, along with several others. They were never captured. But it was quite a story because a number of people lost their lives and police were ambushed. They were ambushed to begin with outside of these window wells. At least several were killed then, and then 4 more later were killed. They were taken hostage and shot, as I say, execution style. Later on, hands behind their back, and died. So, who were those Black Panthers that got away? and in particular, who was one of them. Well, I have a guess, and some others do too, but you'd have to dig through the archives of the Chicago Tribune to find the story, but it's there. And most likely, first time you've ever heard it. Same individual had a flourishing business under the age of 16 when he first got noticed by higher-ups that he was extremely well-spoken, could go to pretty much any street corner in South Chicago, 6 foot tall, thin, as I say, well-spoken, clean-cut, dressed nice, so on and so forth, could just stop anywhere and get on a soapbox and start talking. And his speech typically would, you could boil it down to kill Whitey. It's not funny, but you could take a speech and boil it down to that. He would build a crowd, and this went on over and over and over again in South Chicago in different areas. And he made a good amount of money because what happened, in the crowd, drug dealers would kind of mill around and work the crowd and sell crack cocaine, heroin, so on and so forth to people in the crowd. And at the end of it, he'd grab a soapbox and walk around or meet with the drug dealers that were essentially cutting him in on his what they were making, and he got his commission. And from that, he made pretty good money. He did that consistently for a number of years, and before he was, while he was still a juvenile, he also he also did work as a drug runner, because under the age of 16 he was a juvenile and could just basically get arrested and walk. So you've learned something about an individual whose name will go unspoken, but you can, all I can tell you is you can go to the Chicago Tribune, and you can also go to, unfortunately, most of the individuals who were involved in South Chicago with those goings-on are now dead. And that was a while ago. It was back in the 70s. So there's an old-time story of we're now involved in police ambushes with innocent police protecting the public, many times being shot in the back. And basically they're doing everything they can to start, in my opinion, to start a race war. And just, it's going on, and it's, in my opinion, it's going to be getting worse. I hope not, but boy, it sure looks that way. Apologize for the video, but not. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and this is about the most interesting thing going on in my house right now, is a blank television screen. So I've told you a story, and you'll come back and say, okay, prove it. Well, I'm leaving it up to you. if you care enough, go back to the Chicago Tribune into the 70s, look up Black Panther shootings, and you'll find it. When you have 4 policemen who were killed execution style, that's major news. You're not going to find that buried back on page 37. It's going to be multiple issues and talked about and so on and so forth. And it was back then. Who were the ones that got away? Big question mark. I have my guesses, and do you have yours? With that, W0TM signing off. Thank you very much for watching, and may these police ambushes stop. Thank you very much. They are on our side. No matter what color you are, they are protecting you and protecting me, protecting you, and let that continue. Take care. Bye-bye.